Alrighty, messy bun, no filter, let's go. Hey, I'm Coach Kim, and if you've ever looked around your industry and thought, wait a second, why is that person with half the skill, half the experience, and probably half the ethics getting the spotlight, getting the clients, and getting the fat fees while I'm over here, quietly brilliant, doing the most and being overlooked? Well, then this one is for you because it's not your fault, right? It's not because you're not good enough. It's because no one's ever taught you how to play the power game for real. And hello, hi, that's what I'm here for. I've built something called the 6 stages of power, and it's not theory, it's not rah-rah motivation, it's a practical roadmap that solo consultants, strategists, and experts can actually follow to go from invisible to undeniable. So stick with me, and I'll show you exactly what these stages are, why they matter, and which one you're probably stuck in right now. Let's go. Stage 1, professional power. So this is where it all begins, professional power. Who are you? What do you know? And what can you prove? Essentially, this is your receipt stage. Now, here's the mistake some people make. They don't realize that what they think is just modest competence is actually serious expertise. So they downplay their brilliance because no one likes a show off, and they hide anything that might display their edge. Now, the world cares about competent, but not enough to crown it, right? The world crowns people who claim their lane. So without this professional power foundation, you are just another voice in the consulting or coaching crowd. But with it, you start to become somewhat of a lighthouse that everyone else navigates by. So the question here isn't, am I good enough? The question is, am I willing to own just how good I already am? Stage 2, property power. So once you've got receipts, it's time to turn them into property power. And no, I do not mean buying and selling real estate. I mean, what do you own? What can you package? What can you propose? What can you produce that takes your expertise from, yeah, that's pretty cool, to take my money? Now, I know there's this whole debate around whether you should indeed sell time for money. And I believe that you should sell time for money. That's how I've always made money. However, there's a caveat, because when you sell time in the way that I sell time, you don't sell hours, and you don't sell tasks, and you don't sell help. You sell results. You sell transformation. You sell outcomes that people can attribute specifically to your involvement because your expertise turned the key for them. Your knowledge and your unique ability to apply it becomes an asset. It's a signature offer, a framework, a system, a method, whatever. Doesn't matter so long as your name is on it. Something so undeniably valuable that the price becomes secondary because the results come first. This is how you go from hired help to highly sought. Stage 3, people power. Now let's talk people power. This isn't about how many followers you've got. We don't care how many followers you've got. It's about who's carrying your name into rooms that you aren't in. Because you can stay the best kept secret in your industry forever, or you can start building a circle that amplifies you. Every strategic connection multiplies your visibility. So every referral, every introduction, every, oh, you need to talk to, insert your name here, builds momentum. And let me say this, it's not about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections like they're Pokemon, right? This is real. It's about building intentional, high-value relationships that turn your individual effort into collective acceleration. And just as others will amplify you, you'll recognize who the power players are in other spaces, and you too will amplify them, because this is collaboration, right? Your network shouldn't be there for decoration. It's quick mass multiplication, ready for industry domination. I think I might have missed my calling as a ghostwriter for rap music. I think Kendrick would murder those bars. Put a pin in that one. So 90s hip hop just called and told me never to spit those bars again. So that's it for my rap career. Stage 4, public power. And this one is juicy, because it's where you stop being the industry's best kept secret and you start becoming the name that travels further than you do, right? This is your reputation, your magnetism, your brand. But to be clear, I'm not talking about logos, fonts, and color palettes. That's visual identity. I'm talking about emotional identity, aka how people feel when your name comes up in conversation. Do they listen closer? Do they trust what's being said about you? Do they admire the sound bites and stories being regaled? See, the goal here with public power is to build such a magnetic presence that your perfect fit clients feel like they've known you forever and can trust you implicitly, even before they've met you, even if they just heard about you on the grapevine. And when you do this right, you don't just attract opportunities, you quickly repel those who aren't right for you and the time wasters, which is just as powerful. Stage 5, point power. We often use the phrase running point in leadership, whether it's in the military, it's in sports, or even in business. And this is where you take charge, direct, and execute. In power player terms, point power is when you stop reacting to your industry's conversation and you start shaping it. So you're not just in the mix, you're right at the center of it. You're the one others reference. You're the one they quote. You're the one they invite. You become the compass that everyone else orients to. Now, why does this matter? Well, namely because authority isn't just claimed. You can't just assume the position of authority and take it. History has shown us that anyone trying to take the shortcut to authority is usually short-lived in their endeavors. Authority is recognized by the society in that circle when you consistently deliver insights that move the whole industry forward. Now, by this stage, you're not chasing clients. You are controlling the narrative because you're repeatedly taking charge, directing, and executing. And once you're at the center of your industry running point, opportunities don't just show up, they queue up. Stage 6, power player. Finally, stage 6, power player. This is peak. This is the summit, right? This is the point where all the previous stages fuse together. You're no longer just consulting or advising or coaching. You're shaping markets. You're setting standards. You're leaving a legacy. Now, here at power player level, you don't wonder if you belong in the room. Your very presence changes the room, right? Your voice shifts rates, it shifts rules, it shifts recognition. And let me be clear, this isn't about control. It's about contribution. Because at stage 6, you're no longer just playing the game. You're rewriting it entirely. So now that you've learned a bit about the 6 stages of power, my question to you is, where are you? Right? Maybe it's stage 1 or stage 3. Maybe you realize you could be at a stage 5, but you haven't quite solidified everything you need at stage 2. Wherever you are, The point isn't to feel bad about it. The point is just to know about it, because once you know, you can move. Now, if you're ready to figure out your exact next move, that's what I do in my Power Moves calls. And these are 30 minutes with me, in private, just you and me, no pitch, just clear and usable advice on how to break through the stage you're at, ready to step into the next one, because you don't need more hustle. You do not need another hack. You need alignment, you need belief, and you need unapologetic ownership of your power. That is what makes you undeniable. So where do you go from here? Well, firstly, you stop waiting for permission, right? And you stop playing by someone else's outdated rules. And you start walking forward like the power player you already are. I'm Coach Kim. This was the 6 stages of power. And this is just the beginning. Hit subscribe, join the #PowerPlayer movement, and let's start changing the game. You with it? Yeah, you are.